We are debt-free now, and that still feels strange to say, in a good way. For a long time, there was always something that had a claim on the month before the month even started. A payment, an obligation, a debt that had to be serviced before that money could go anywhere else. And now that our final debt has been settled, something feels different. Not perfect, not finished, not like every financial goal has suddenly been reached, but different. There is breathing room now. And while that breathing room brings responsibility, it also brings something else. Possibility. Hi, I'm JP, and lately, the strongest feeling in our house has been gratitude. We keep saying how blessed we are, because we have prayed for blessing for as long as I can remember. And now, one of the ways that blessing is starting to feel real is that we can begin thinking about things that once felt far away. Not careless things, not wasteful things, real, meaningful things, like creating proper family memories again. Debt and tight months do something to the way you see life. They narrow your vision. You start thinking mostly in terms of what needs to be paid, what needs to be delayed, what can wait, what cannot wait, what has to be covered first. And after a while, that becomes normal. Not because you want to live that way, but because pressure trains your mind to focus on survival. You stop thinking too far ahead. You stop imagining too freely. You stop asking what would be meaningful, because the more urgent question is what is affordable right now. And that is heavy, because life becomes very functional. Bills, food, fuel, payments, emergencies, responsibilities. And yes, those things matter. They are real. They have to be handled. But when life stays in that mode for too long, possibility starts feeling like something other people get to think about. That is why breathing room feels so different. It doesn't mean everything is suddenly easy. It doesn't mean we can be careless. It doesn't mean the work is over. But it does open the view again. When one payment disappears, the future starts feeling a little less squeezed. The month starts feeling a little less crowded. The same money that used to leave automatically can now be redirected. And that changes how you think. Not just about the budget, about life. You start asking different questions. How quickly can we rebuild the buffer? What can we prepare for next? What can we strengthen? What family moments can we finally create again? That shift matters, because when breathing room returns, the future starts becoming visible again. Not fully clear, not guaranteed, but visible. And that is a blessing. Possibility feels very different from pressure. Pressure says, how are we going to manage this? Possibility says, what can we build with this? Pressure makes every decision feel tight. Possibility gives decisions room to breathe. And I think that is what I'm feeling now. The same money that once serviced debt can now begin serving the future. It can help rebuild the emergency buffer. It can help strengthen the household. It can help prepare for bigger goals. And yes, it can also help create meaningful family memories. That is not small. Because when you have been in rebuild mode for a long time, even thinking about family memories can feel like a luxury. But maybe that is part of what financial rebuilding is supposed to restore. Not reckless spending, not lifestyle drift, but the ability to experience life with your family without everything feeling like pressure. The family holiday we are planning feels bigger than a holiday, because it has been such a long time since we have had a proper one. Not just a weekend away, not just a quick break, a real family holiday. And I think that is why it feels so meaningful. It is not only about going somewhere, it is about what the trip represents. It represents space. It represents breathing room. It represents the ability to give our family a memory we have not been able to give in a long time. And that makes me grateful, because when you are building, It is easy to focus only on the future, the long-term goals, the financial structure, the plans, the next step. But family memories matter too. They are not separate from the journey. They are part of why the journey matters. This is where the gratitude feels heavy in the best way, because we have prayed for blessing for a long time. Not just once, not casually, for years, praying for more room, praying for provision, praying for breakthrough, praying for wisdom, praying for the ability to move forward without constantly feeling squeezed. And now to be in a position where our final debt is gone and we can begin thinking about a proper family holiday again, it does not feel like entitlement. It feels like blessing. And I do not want to miss that. I do not want to rush past it like it is just a normal update, because this matters. When you have prayed for something for a long time, and then you start seeing signs of breathing room, gratitude has to be part of the response. Not pride, not carelessness, gratitude, because God has been faithful. I also want to be clear about something. This is not about careless spending. That distinction matters, because there is a difference between lifestyle drift and planned family memories. Lifestyle drift happens when money starts disappearing just because there is more room. A little extra here, a little extra there. No real direction, no real intention, just spending because the pressure is lower. That is not what I want. But planned family memories are different. They are intentional. They are considered. They fit inside stewardship. They acknowledge that money is not only there to protect against emergencies or build future assets. It is also there to serve life well. And part of serving life well is creating moments with the people God has entrusted to you. That does not mean every desire is wise. It does not mean every holiday is responsible. But it does mean that family joy is not automatically waste. Sometimes it is part of the blessing. Financial rebuilding is not only about numbers. It cannot only be about debt balances, emergency buffers, savings goals, and future plans. Those things matter, a lot. But if the numbers never translate into a healthier life, then something is missing. The point of building structure is not just to have structure. The point is for that structure to protect and support what matters: faith, family, peace, responsibility, memories, a more stable home, a better future. So when breathing room creates the possibility of a meaningful family memory, I think that deserves to be noticed. Because that is one of the reasons we build. Not to look successful, not to impress anyone, not to chase comfort for its own sake, but to live more faithfully and more intentionally with the people closest to us. I think that is the deeper shift. The future feels less trapped, not completely open, not easy, not finished, but less trapped. And that is a big difference. Because for a long time, the future could feel like something we were fighting toward, while still carrying old weight. Now some of that weight has lifted. The debt is gone. There is more margin. There is room to rebuild faster, room to prepare, room to think about a house deposit, room to create a proper family holiday, room to breathe. And that changes the atmosphere. Again, not because everything is solved, but because possibility has returned. And when possibility returns, hope starts feeling different. Less like pressure, more like invitation. Even with all this gratitude, the responsibility does not disappear. Actually, it becomes more important, because blessing needs stewardship. Breathing room needs direction. Possibility needs wisdom. If we handle this well, this season can strengthen the household. If we handle it carelessly, the margin can disappear. So I want to hold both things together: gratitude and responsibility, excitement and wisdom, enjoyment and stewardship. That is the balance I want. To be able to say, "Thank you, Lord," and then live like I understand the weight of what has been given. To enjoy the breathing room without abusing it. To create memories without drifting. To move forward with joy, but not carelessness. That is the kind of maturity I want this season to produce. Freedom from debt is not the finish line. I said that in the last episode, and I still believe it. But it is a meaningful milestone, because when debt is gone, breathing room starts coming back. And when breathing room comes back, possibility starts coming back too. For us, one of the most meaningful possibilities right now is a proper family holiday after a very long time without one. And I'm grateful. Grateful to God. Grateful for the breathing room. Grateful that we can think about creating memories again without the same pressure we used to carry. This is not arrival. It is not the whole dream fulfilled, but it is a sign that the journey is changing life. Not only in the future, now, in the household, in the atmosphere, in what feels possible again. And maybe that is one of the quiet gifts of breathing room. It does not just change the numbers, it gives the future space to breathe again. I'm JP, and I'll see you in the next one.